Morning guys, I know the video is dark, it's pretty early and I haven't opened the curtains yet. I'm not going to open the curtains yet. As you can tell, I'm feeling like poo. Switch off because this one's going to be depressing. Got my first therapy today, later on, which is good. But last night was not a good night. I was down all night. Before I start, don't get me wrong, I love my parents, I do, but they get to me so badly. You know, I know I complain about them sometimes, but some of the stuff they do is not cool. You know, I'm a paranoid person anyway, and having anyone being passive-aggressive around me doesn't help. You know, I've got autistic tendencies, which my mother denies to the ends of the earth, which I don't know why. If I could get some help for them, it'd probably help my anxiety as well. But I'm hoping today will sort that. But yeah, it's always those passive-aggressive comments about this, that and the other, and it wears you down. And of course my dad backs her up, you know, all the time, which doesn't help, because then she believes it's okay to do that to another human being. Now, I was checking Twitter last night, and my mum was putting up about someone lying to her, and, you know, just being mean, and I always naturally assume it's me, and it's probably me, because she considers everything I say to be crap. You know, I'm not perfect, but holy hell, you know I'm not the perfect daughter. I'm not pretty, I'm not thin, I don't have a degree. You know, I'm trying to get a job, but I don't have one yet, which I'm hoping to rectify soon. You know, she gets all up in arms if I buy anything while I'm out, and this is with spare change in my purse. I'm not talking like DVDs or anything. I'm talking a croissant from Asda, that's £1. You know, and it's just, it's worn me down so low. You start to wonder if it's worth it, you know. So I'm just kind of lying here at 7:30 in the morning. Everyone else is at work, so I thought I'd have a chat to you guys in the dark. Because wanted to go back to sleep. Probably I'm not going to go back to sleep. Nothing on YouTube. Internet's boring. Appointment isn't until the afternoon, so I'd go down and get breakfast, but I'm not hungry. Don't feel hungry. You know, the comments about you outliving your welcome kind of sap you of that. You know, Mum saying that she's sick of holding us up, which I can understand, and then she goes and whines to my auntie, who's then going to probably have a talk with me, and I'm going to end up crying again. I don't know how I can handle it, to be honest. You know, I'm depressed as it is, I'm on medication, but some days they don't help. You know, I don't expect them to babysit me all the time, but, you know, hold your tongue once in a while. You know, I can't be perfect, I can't be the person that you seem to want me to be, so, you know, just give me a little leeway. I'm living in a room, you know, none of my stuff is outside my room. And though this room is a pretty decent size, I have a big bed. I have a wardrobe. I have no more space to put stuff. I literally have no more space. And I'm going on about my personal hygiene, which isn't bad. As if I never bathe. As if, you know, I stink all the time, which I have no confidence as it is. So that's a real kick in the face every time that happens. And I shrug it off in front of them, and I come back, and my wife gets to see the aftermath, and that's always fun. And I want them to stop, you know. Just give me 5 minutes peace. You know, if my mum put up a debate, you'd all believe her. No, she's an excellent speaker. She could never lose an argument, you know. And so when I try and confront her about it, it doesn't help. It just doesn't. I end up upset. She ends up looking smug, and I end up just crawling back into my room and wishing that the next time I go to sleep I don't wake up. I try my hardest, you know. I mean, I look to religion, and no, I'm not Christian, I'm pagan, but it does help sometimes, and you know, I look for the support of my friends, who are amazing, by the way. But it's difficult, you know. It's hard, and I can't always do it. And it feels like it gets worse every day, because it feels like they just don't want me around. You know, I was always taught, your parents are the people you go to. And I don't feel like I can go to mine. It feels like sometimes they don't even like me as a person. And that's hard to live with, you know? You know, they very rarely have anything to say that's nice to me. And I just don't know how I'm going to keep handling it. Thought I'd blog to you guys, at least to get it out of my system. Because I don't want to, you know, put on one purse. That's not cool. I'm really hoping this therapy works. I really am. I'm really hoping I can get out of this place soon. Because this living situation it's not good for me. You know, I'm a nervous wreck all the time anyway, but you know, if the place isn't perfect, I'm terrified of going downstairs, which means I'm terrified of doing any laundry or anything. And they don't get why. But how do you explain that? You know, that everything they say just kills you a bit more. You know, I've thought of ending it in the past, but every little thing they say, and it gets that much closer, because I feel like, well, who the hell would miss me? Because they don't seem to want me here anyway. God, I don't know what to do with all this, I really don't. I'm rambling, and it's not good, and I'm crying again, and I hate crying. I'm gonna log off for a while, guys. I don't know, I'll be posting much. Don't know when I'll next put anything, if I put anything, so I'll see you guys soon, hopefully. Later.